All right, everybody, it's the Working Fans Podcast, daily content. We're going to talk a little NXT, Impact Wrestling, and a little bit of AEW. So, before we get started, why don't we check out one of these upcoming? We'll check out this intro video first. Are you a fan of pro wrestling, comedy, and combat sports? Then we have the podcast for you because we cover that and much, much more.
Do you like to debate with your friends? Do we have the perfect segment for you? It's the 531, where we take any given subject, break it down to a top 5. From there, we debate it down to 3, and then into that number 1 spot.
If you want to get a hold of us, find us on our social medias. Search Working Fans Podcast on any major social media platform. And if you want to find the podcast, search for us on any major podcast platform, as well as YouTube.
Working Fans Podcast. We put in the work so you don't have to.
All right, everybody. How's it going today? Working Fans Podcast, and we're talking a little bit of wrestling. I watched NXT last night. A couple things stuck out. It was actually a pretty enjoyable show. Like one of the things I'm definitely looking forward to. They set up this upcoming week NXT Roadblock very well. Like right off the gate, like Ciampa teams up with Braun Breaker, and they're taking on Rude and Ziggler, the Dirty Dogs, and man, like Ciampa comes out dressed up like Rick Steiner. It's like the Steiner brothers. They even used the off the top rope bulldog at one point. Great back and forth match. And I don't know why, but towards the end of it, like AJ on TikTok, he did a preview of this. And I know he said that he thought the Dirty Dogs would win this. And they're setting up Ziggler and Braun Breaker. And I agreed. I thought, yeah, that sounds right. But man, like right before this ended, like I don't know, I could tell something was going on. I was like, I think Ciampa and Breaker are going to win, and they did. And Ciampa got the pin, and I said, "Oh, triple threat match." And I thought that would be at Stand and Deliver WrestleMania weekend, but we're doing it next week, so it makes me kind of wonder what they're setting up for Braun Breaker. But yeah, we got that next week. Ciampa, Ziggler, and Braun Breaker should be a hell of a match. There's some good stuff on NXT, guys. There's some silly stuff too, but don't sleep on it. It's definitely some good stuff. And I think Breaker will win, and I'm kind of hoping we get Walter or Gunther, as he's known now. He was on the show last night too. He beat Sikoa Sakai, the Usos. I think he's the cousin, but great match. But Walter Gunther, he wins. He's looked dominant, and I think, man, him and Braun Breaker is definitely the match to make at some point. Carmelo Hayes over Pete Dunne, and they had a good back and forth match. Not really surprising. And afterwards, Hayes is saying something about a ladder match at Stand and Deliver. I never remember a champion just saying he wanted to defend his title in a ladder match, especially a heel. You know, he should be trying to like not defend his title. But little semantics here. I don't know. Wasn't a fan of that, but I did enjoy the match. And then also next week, they gave a nice little video package, or they gave a nice little video package last night to lead into next week. The Creed brothers versus Imperium for the tag titles. Marcel Barthol and Fabian Eichner, Imperium defending the tag belts against the Creed brothers, who won the Dusty Cup tournament. And man, the Creed brothers, if you haven't seen these guys, oh man, these are kind of throwback. They're kind of like the Steiner brothers from back in the day. They just suplex you, clothesline you, and beat the crap out of you. Honestly, besides Gunther and Braun Breaker, these guys might be my favorite act on this whole brand. Just tremendous. Women's action last night. Dakota Kai and Wendy Chu advanced to the semifinals. Also, Cora Jade and Big Mommy Cool, Raquel Gonzalez advanced. I think Cora Jade and Raquel are going to be the ones who end up winning this whole thing. And we'll see how that goes. I like Cora Jade, actually. I think she's got potential. Let's see. Anything else on NXT? I think that's probably about it for now. AEW tonight. Looking forward to that. Big pay-per-view this weekend, Revolution, MJF and CM Punk in this dog collar match. And it's funny. That's what I feel like should be the main event. As I said, as much as I love Adam Cole, like I just don't feel he's been built up after that Orange Cassidy loss enough where I feel like he's going to take the belt off of Hangman Page. That being said, I think they're going to tear it up, and I think Cole's stock is going to rise more after this. Live Rampage this week, too. I forgot about that, but because of the pay-per-view, we'll get a live Rampage on Friday. So Dynamite's live tonight. We're going to find out whoever wins that Casino Battle Royal is going to join the three-way with Red Dragon and Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. I have a feeling it's going to be the Bucks. That's the way the storyline looks. So I'm curious to see how that all plays out. Also, another programming note about AEW. After the live Rampage this week, it'll be a countdown to Revolution, which if you haven't seen these are great lead-up shows. It kind of reminds me of the old UFC prime times, if you ever saw that. Even sounds like the same guy narrating, but they're very good. Also, I got to see a little NWA last night on the premium. I won't spoil it, but there was a good match. I mean, they end up setting up the Fixers and OGK, Taven, and Bennett, and they actually made it part of the Crockett Cup. So a little small spoiler there. That's going to turn into the Crockett Cup. And you also got Anthony Mayweather, former Crimson, taking on Chris Adonis and for the national title. Also, hell of a match. Enjoyed that a lot. And also, I was looking at there's so much wrestling going on that I'm looking at it this weekend, and I realized Impact's got a show this weekend too, Sacrifice. And this is some good shit on this show. Alex Shelley's taking on Jay White. Jay White, we saw him on AEW Rampage a few weeks ago. He's killing it on New Japan Strong, and he's killing it on Impact. This guy's everywhere. The Inspiration, they're taking on Madison Rayne and Tennille Dashwood. Women's tag titles on the line. Trey Miguel versus Jake Something, Knockouts Championship. Moose versus Heath. That's right. The former Heath Slater, now just Heath, is getting a shot at the Impact World title. I got to tell you, I like it. Heath is very charismatic. I think he's underrated. And one thing I like about Impact is you can have a shitty run in WWE or someplace, and if you got talent, you'll get a chance. You'll get a chance there. And whether you prove yourself or not remains to be seen, but you will get a shot. The Good Brothers will take on, it says Violent by Design or the Gorillas of Destiny. That might be determined this week on Impact Wrestling. I didn't see a preview for that, but I'm guessing that's what that means. Rhino, Rich Swann, and Steve Macklin versus Eddie Edwards, Mike Bennett, PCO, Matt Taven, Vincent. Okay, so, Eddie Edwards is going to have all those guys with him. I got it. Okay, so it's Rhino versus Eddie Edwards, and basically his partners from Team Impact will be taking on Edwards, and he's going to have Honor No More with him because PCO is actually going against Jonah. That's right, Jonah Rock, guy in NXT. He was the North American champion. He's been killing it in New Japan Strong, Impact now. This guy is a monster. PCO is a monster. This, as producer Joe would say, is going to be a hoss fight, and I'm super excited for that. And then Mickie James, she'll be defending the Knockouts Women's Championship against either Tasha Steelz or Chelsea Green, and that will be decided this week on Impact when Chelsea Green takes on Tasha Steelz. I have a feeling Chelsea Green is going to end up getting this match, and I'm just calling it now. I think something's going to happen where Cardona gets involved, and Cardona is going to help Chelsea win the Knockouts Women's title. I think Chelsea's going heel in Impact because she's a heel everywhere else with Cardona, and Cardona's already a heel in Impact. So that's what I'm calling. I'm saying Cardona's going to help Green win the Impact Knockouts title. And if you think about it, Mickie and her husband are NWA, and Cardona's taking on Aldis and defending the world title at the Crockett Cup in a few weeks. Makes sense to me that we could see Mickie and Chelsea get involved in that. So a lot of fun stuff happening in wrestling, whether it's Impact, whether it's AEW, whether it's NXT. We're going into Mania season. So just good stuff out there right now. That doesn't even, I didn't even talk about MLW today or New Japan Strong. A lot of good stuff coming around. So check everything out, guys. Wrestling is strong, and it's a great time to be a fan. That's all for today. This is Dave of the Working Fans Podcast. Thanks for stopping by.